Good morning. This is Axel Merk, President Chief Investment Officer of Merk Investments, with my Wednesday morning update. And just looked away from the screen for a few seconds, and the S&P is dropping. S&P futures are now down 43 points. Took a leg lower here. Bonds are up a tick, three ticks actually, for the 10-year, up 21 for the 30-year. 3-month LIBOR is at 13 basis points, and 3-month T-bill at 13 basis points, and 3-month LIBOR at 30 basis points. Effective Fed funds rate at 8 basis points. Gold is now down a buck and change at 1766. Gold was higher at around 1795 or so earlier today. That's in the futures market. And has come down since. Globally, weakness. Euro Stoxx is down 1.6%, the FTSE down 2%. In Asia, the Nikkei was down just a tad. Hong Kong was down 0.5%. Chinese CSI 300 index was up 40 basis points. The dollar is stronger today. The yen is also weak. The yen is quote unquote only down 33 basis points. The strongest currency is the Swiss franc in the G10, that's down 28 basis points. And then on the weakest end, the New Zealand dollar is an outlier, down over 1%. Everybody else is down kind of 0.5% or so. Good. And in world things happening, we've seen the virus flare up in various places, and a place like Europe, where virus has been very much under control, similarly as has happened in some Asian countries. The virus doesn't stop. As soon as there is a host somewhere, you can start spreading again. And so in Berlin, for example, there's concern about things flaring up again. And so let's see how different regions in the world will deal with these sort of things. In the meantime, I'm based in California, and we look at these national statistics. There are regional data, and so similar here, region is very different. I happen to be here in the Bay Area, where things are actually quite good. Santa Clara County, that was one of the earlier outbreak centers, is doing quite well, actually. The Southern California do have significant challenges, though, notably Orange County, San Diego, LA a little bit as well. And so regional differences, and the same in other areas of the world. Part of the reason why you want to look at regional data is because the way that data aggregated is not consistent across the world. And so if you look at a region, you would hope you have a little bit more data consistency when you look at those sort of things. In the meantime, I mentioned yesterday, I believe, about the visa restrictions that the president is introducing. I don't think they are helpful. The folks who come here on visas tend to contribute to economic growth. And if you don't let the most talented people come in, well, they'll set up shop elsewhere. Businesses will have to expand their offices elsewhere. It's counterproductive. The same with students that graduate, and if they don't get a work permit, they'll move elsewhere. Well, surprise, surprise, and that's economic loss to the U.S. And then similarly, it's only a proposal right now to impose tariffs on Europe, and it's getting personal when it's on beer as well. That's one of the things that's German beer is under consideration to be slapped with tariffs. Now, all of it is only up to quote unquote only 3.1 billion or so, but obviously that may create a tit for tat. And the Great Depression turned really bad when tariffs escalated, and so I don't think that's very helpful. Right now, there's only a comment period, and so this may well just be yet another negotiation technique, and it may not happen and whatnot. And you got to seize the headlines for something, I suppose. But we'll see. We'll see. For business, certainty is helpful because then you can plan, and there's plenty of uncertainty to deal with right now. And so having certainty on the regulatory environment would be very beneficial. Now, it is election season, and so I guess you've got to talk about this sort of stuff as well. But we'll see. I mean, Trump had pushed back against the notion that the trade deal with China is off, and so it might all just be rhetoric. but we'll find out. We shall find out. In any case, S&P futures down minus 42, and I shall. German iPhone numbers, by the way, came out today. That's the Institute of let's say that gives the business climate index, and it shows that Germany is well on the way on the recovery. And of course, yes, I mean it always depends on where you start, right? I mean, if you're at the very bottom, things can recover. You do have Germany is taking over the presidency of the EU um, next July 1st. For 6 months, there's always a different country that's ahead of it, and there's always good intentions when the country becomes the leader. Germany becoming the leader of the EU for 6 months at this particular juncture might actually be constructive and get some stimulus done. And but we'll find out. We shall find out. In the meantime, of course, yes, stimuli happening in various places, spending a lot of money in different places. James Bullard came out yesterday and talked about price level targeting. That he's favoring that, and so no wonder gold has been doing well. And by the way, this is not investment advice. And let me just put in here the slide to show that and emphasize that. Now, Tiff Macklem of the Bank of Canada talked yesterday, and like so many central bankers, he said that the QE program is done to keep market function properly, and then he pivots and says um, that it helps lower interest rates. And just about and then he also talks about CE, credit easing, buying corporate bonds, same thing, have markets function properly. Um, I have yet to see a central banker who explains what properly functioning markets are. I think we all agree that in March there were times when markets were not functioning properly. But right now, are markets functioning properly or not? I think central bankers are worried about a taper tantrum, but I do think it is very odd to talk about markets functioning properly as a justification for QE when markets are going through the roof. Now, obviously not today. S&P is going down, and by all means, it's possible that we'll have a very severe downdraft. But is it really the role of central bankers to prop up equity prices, right? Is that the definition of properly functioning markets? And my guess is they would say no, that it's just a side effect of the policy. But what is it that is a properly functioning market? So I found it out there. I haven't heard a satisfactory answer. Um, so for the time being, all we know is that we're going to print a great deal of money. We keep rates low. Powell appears to suggest to keep rates low until we are again at record low unemployment and then some, suggesting he may not raise rates while he's in office. But maybe not. I mean, maybe we'll have such a strong recovery. So, any case, VIX index here, just didn't mention that at 33.44. VIX curve is slightly inverted, meaning we're more fearful of the present than the future. Anyway, have a great day and be safe out there. Take care. Bye.